Hi everyone, my name is AJ Bernard. I'm the pastor at Frankfort United Methodist Church in Frankfort, Ohio, and I just wanted to make a short video here to deal with something that's been on my mind and on the news and everywhere lately, and that's the idea of racism. What does a white kid from Southern Ohio have to tell you about racism? Nothing. Don't listen to me. I'm dressed all in black because I want to be hidden. The important thing is what God has to say about racism. And it's such an important topic that he doesn't let us get out of the first chapter of the first book of the Bible before dealing with it thoroughly. If you understand Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 and 27, racism will never be an issue again. You cannot hate anyone ever for any reason at all. I don't care if they cut you off in traffic. I don't care if they're at war with your nation. I don't care if whatever. If you understand Genesis 26 and 27, you cannot ever hate anyone again. Let's read. Genesis 1 and 26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Why does verse 27 say the same thing 3 times? Because in Hebrew thought, if you repeat something twice, it's for emphasis. We remember Jesus teaching, and he would say, "Truly, truly, I tell you," blah, 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 right? "Verily, verily," if you're the King James type. "Truly, truly, I tell you." Repeating something twice for emphasis. Repeating something 3 times, as we see in Isaiah chapter 6, when the angels around the throne cry out, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God, is the Lord of hosts," right? Holy, holy, holy. 3 times. That's not just emphasis. That is completion. God is completely holy. So why does God create man in his own image? And why does he say it 3 times in verse 27? Because God is holy. Because God's holiness cannot be overestimated. You cannot imagine him as being holier than he is, because there is no limit to his holiness. Holy, 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 the angels say. So here, in Genesis, when we see God creating man 3 times, or we see it repeated 3 times, God is emphasizing the importance of this event. But what about this event is he emphasizing? 1, that he himself created us, and 2, that he created us in his image. That is, every person you have ever met, from the highest noble, the president, the king, the emperor, to the poorest beggar on the street, is made in the image of God. If you have any sort of disdain, if you have any sort of hatred, if you have any sort of disgust for any of those people, from the richest noble to the poorest beggar and everyone in between, you have disdain, disgust, hatred for someone who bears the image of God. If you can be okay with hating someone who draws their eternal sacred value from God himself, then you do not understand God. You don't get it. You don't understand how maximally important, how maximally great God is. How holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. You don't get to hate people. You don't. That's why when Jesus was asked, what is the first and greatest commandment? he said, love the Lord your God with all your heart. And the second is like unto it. He says, the second is the same commandment. Love your neighbor as yourself. Why? Because your neighbor is made in the image of God. And if you fail to love your neighbor, you fail to love God, in whose image your neighbor is created. If we took these two verses to heart, we would change the world. If everyone took these two verses to heart, we would change the world. It would be the end of war, the end of hatred, the end of racism, the end of famine and disease and pestilence, and the end of every horrible thing that we inflict on one another. Because when we do those things, we do those things to God, like Jesus said, whatever you have done to the least of these, you've done unto me. I hope that helps.